Welcome everyone to our Certified Entry-Level Python Programmer course, and this is our solution video for the lists assignment that we all had together. So let's take a look at my solution to the lists assignment. Now, if you remember, this is what we were given. Yeah, so we were given the beginning of our application, weren't we? We create a my grocery list variable. And notice we set it to an empty list, and then we are going to print the my grocery list heading. And then we had this section we were given of a while loop. Yeah, set to true. While true, we're going to be printing the menu system. 1 to show the list, 2 to add an item, 3 to remove an item, 4 to query how many items we have, 0 to quit, and then an empty line. And then notice my solution kicks in. So what I begin doing here is getting from the user their selection. Notice I set this to a menu underscore selection variable. Obviously, I'm going to use input. I'm going to ask them for their selection. And then notice we're going to have a little fun here. I'm going to strip off any additional characters they might have done accidentally when they're inputting this number. Now, you might say, well, wait a minute, Anthony, where is your verification for them hitting a number like 8, which isn't on our list? And that's actually going to be all the way down at the bottom. Notice I have this final else statement that says, please choose a number from 0 to 4, because that would be the case if they did not select one of our numbers. So yeah, I'm doing a little bit of error correction, little bit of verification steps as we are moving through our solution. That's fine. I didn't go too crazy with that. But notice something that we did in the very first if section here. I say if menu selection is equal to 1, go ahead and then do this additional if-else logic. Yeah, I say if the length of my grocery list is 0, then go ahead and print your list is empty, else print the grocery list. Yeah, so notice we do a little if then, or if else, excuse me, nested inside of our first if selection, just dealing with the fact that the list may be totally empty, and to not confuse them, the user of the app, I'm going to go ahead and print that their list is empty. Yeah. Now, how about if they select 2? So I have an else if for them selecting 2, and here we have a new item. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get input from the user on what it is they want to add. Once again, using that nice strip method for stripping off any additional characters. Then, here's a great review. We're going to take our grocery list and we are going to use the append method. And we're going to take that new item and we're going to append it to the list. And then notice we're going to print added an item and we're going to list the item that they gave us. So a little verification there for them that their step worked perfectly. What if they choose 3? Well, no problem. We have an else if they choose 3. And then I'm going to do my little length, make sure the list actually contains something. And then if it does, we're going to go ahead and use the pop method to pop off that last item. And we're going to print, we remove that last item. Otherwise, we're going to print, hey, there's nothing to remove because your grocery list is 0. Yeah. So notice another kind of built-in error correction there. How about if they choose 4? Well, this is to get the length of our list. Yeah, so no problem. We'll just say number of items on your list, and then we'll get the length of my grocery list. All right, finally, we have, let me scroll back over to the left here. Yep, there we go. And then scroll down. Finally, we have what if the selection is 0? Yeah, if it's 0, we're going to thank them for using the grocery list. And then this is key. We're going to break out of this. Yeah, don't forget, the way I had you do this, you are in a while loop that's always going to evaluate to true. So this is just going to go over and over and over and over again until they actually quit. And that would be quitting via a break in the action, if you will. Well, all right, as you might guess, a big part of this assignment was testing it. Sure. So you're going to get in there and you're going to run this module. Yeah, and this will take you a little bit of time, right? Because you'll want to verify everything you built. How about pressing 1 right now? This should trigger that logic to see if there's anything in the list, and sure enough, it should print for us, your list is empty. So obviously a good thing to try next would be 2, add something to the list, and I'll add eggs. I do need eggs, by the way. I just realized that. Yeah, I'm going to go get eggs later today. In fact, let me do my actual shopping list. This may be a little embarrassing. Let me add another item, and I got to get them today. It's my Nerd Gummy Clusters, the greatest candy ever invented. All right. Also, I need today some bread. All right. So now if I do number 1 to show the list, yeah, looking a little bit better there. There is our shopping list. What if I want to remove bread from it? I'll just tap the number 3 and that should remove that last item. Now let me show the list again, and sure enough, the bread is gone. How many items do I have total? I have 2 items on my shopping list, and guess what? The quit works beautifully. So I hope you had a great time in this assignment where we took the initial construct of an application and then we went in and built the logic. And as you can see, not very hard, not very difficult, and a great review of some of those key methods and functions that we would need of lists in Python. Thank you so much for watching, and you guessed it, next up, we're going to be reviewing, I believe it's tuples. That's our next topic to review. I'll see you there.